Hello, it is Friday, September 24th, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Friday puzzle, but it is also the launch of my Patreon campaign, which I know I've been mentioning off and on for a couple weeks now, so I apologize. It took me longer to get started than I hoped because I was worried about launching it in uncertain circumstances, but it is up now. It is up at patreon.com/dailysolve. And there are a few options. The lowest price option, which is £3, allows you to see the bonus videos that I put up over the course of the month. And right now, what is up so far is a week of mini puzzles solved in a sort of speed run style, and then the monthly bonus puzzle from this month by the New York Times, which is a series that I've done once on this channel. I was totally unfamiliar with it before just last month. It's a monthly bonus puzzle constructed by Fred Piskup, and it's always themed, and it's a sort of midweek difficulty. So that's up there as well. And congratulations, by the way, to, what was this person's name? Ron Ladd. Congratulations to Ron Ladd for being my first and at the time of recording only patron who somehow managed to find that page before I had announced it and signed up to the campaign. So got one patron already, so that's a start. So thank you, Ron Ladd. So that's the first tier. Then that tier also gets a role in the Discord channel that I've set up, Discord server, which is a bit of an experiment. So we'll just see how that goes. I've set up a Discord server with a few discussion channels, one for Daily New York Times crossword discussion, one for other crossword discussion, and one for other puzzle discussion generally, because I figured that might be something people are interested in. And then there's a private channel that is just for Patreon backers, and I will try and dip in there from time to time. So we'll see how this whole Discord thing goes. If it ends up taking a bunch of sort of time or maintenance, I might have to rethink it. But also any advice or feedback is of course welcome. So moving on, there is a £15 tier, and that entitles you to be thanked in the video at least once over the course of a given month. That will sort of depend on how many people are in that tier, I suppose. So if not many people do it, you'll probably get thanked more often. And you'll also get in that tier, this is something that Patreon offers. After 3 months, you will get a piece of exclusive merchandise. And so I thought it would be nice to get an exclusive mug, since I generally have a mug with me on the videos. And I figured what I would do is I would have I'll try and tweak some designs over the course of those few months with input from people in that tier in the form of polls to try and determine which design you'd prefer. So I thought that would be sort of a fun way to do it, since we've got to get through those months before the merchandise goes out. And it's just how it works with Patreon. You can't adjust the length of that duration. It's just 3 months because that's what they've determined it is. So, but it seemed like a fun thing to be able to get that merchandise. So I'm doing that. And then there's a highest tier, which, to be totally honest, I don't even think I'm expecting anyone to sign up for, but it is a £50 tier. And at that level, you will be thanked in each video for your very generous contribution that is essentially bordering on sponsorship, but a more fun version of sponsorship than the traditional kind, because of course it would be supported by a viewer. But I put that in there sort of just in case. I don't know that I'm expecting anyone to actually do it. We'll see. So that's the bulk of the Patreon campaign. I've spoken great length about it just now, so maybe you should head over and check it out yourself. Of course, there will be a link in the description underneath the video, and it is patreon.com/dailysolve. So please do check that out if that is interesting. And I will put up that bonus content and release it to people who have monthly contributions recurring on Ko-fi as well. So if you've made a monthly contribution through my Ko-fi page, you will get access to that also. I'll probably turn off the ability to add new monthly contributions on Ko-fi just to keep things straightforward, since I'm orienting this towards the Patreon, but I'll definitely put the content up there because why not? Those people should get it as well. All right, so shall we move on to some crossword solving? First, there is just a bit of new knowledge from yesterday's puzzle that I should address. Ben Ward explains regarding the Anne Rice Vampire Chronicles, which were referenced with the answer Lestat yesterday. Ben says 4 of the novels in Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles have Lestat as their titular vampire. With 6 letters, you could also have had Armande or Akasha, the eponymous queen of the damned. Interview with the Vampire is indeed part of that series, but for that clue to work, you would have had to wrangle Louis de Pointe-du-Lac, the titular vampire interviewee, down to 6 letters somehow. So there you go. Fortunately, I only knew the one name, so it didn't cause me any trouble at all. All right. Eric Ratomero says, interestingly, ano in Portuguese rather than Spanish bypasses the issue one of the commenters raised the other day about accented words. Spanish uses año for year, while Portuguese uses ano for the Brazilian Portuguese version. No tilde, different pronunciation, same crossword answer. And Chris Warren replies to say, I took Portuguese classes where some of the other students were native Spanish speakers, and they always tripped up or cracked on that one because of the similarity in spelling between year and anus. So, yes, there we go. Tantasar says that en banc means all of the judges of an appeals court, such as the Supreme Court, are sitting on the bench, as is the norm during Supreme Court hearings. And George Adams chimes in to say that en banc literally means on the bench in French. And finally, Shantanu Bhatia says, by the way, heads up, a raga, which was Indian music referenced in yesterday's puzzle, is closer to a scale than a musical genre. And that is a good point. Yes, I did a bit of reading about that, and it's almost more of I'm sure that the commenter is much more informed on this than I am. I just did some brief reading, and it's sort of an entire system of modalities and motifs that differ from raga to raga. It's quite interesting, so worth reading about and listening to. Anyway, that's all I have from yesterday's puzzle, so let's move on to today's Friday puzzle. This has been constructed by Stella Zavatovsky, perhaps that's pronounced, and it has been edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So this will be a themeless puzzle because we've concluded our run of themes Sunday to Thursday for the week, and our first of 2 themelesses is Friday, so are we ready to get started? I say okay. What's not to like? I wonder if it's pet peeve. I know it's not. Never mind, not enough letters. Okay, nickname in Israeli politics. Could be Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu. So then what's not to like? A bad something? I mean, I don't know. Could be plenty of things, I think. Big ink purveyor. A squid, maybe? I don't know. That seems like a bit of a reach, but let's try. What genes do biologically? Medicare Advantage by another name. Yeah, I don't think it's squid. Too good to be true. The singer Bjork, for one. Icelander? Lustrous shell compound. Oh, nacre, I think, is what that's getting at. On a shell from the sea, from a sea creature, I think is what that means. Black hairstyle with square-shaped sections. Box braid? No. Box braids, maybe? I think is what that is. Hospital drama sets in brief could be ORs or ERs, operating rooms or emergency rooms. E seems more likely as an ending of a word, but no need to fill it in just yet. Let's check some of these other crosses. Milton Friedman's subject would be economics, an economist, Milton Friedman. It might end in an emoji. A text might end in an emoji. River through Bohemia. Elba? I don't think so. Like many a documentary film. Not sure. Live on air? And that's in brackets. oops, on air. There we go. That's in brackets. So what does that mean in this case in brackets? I think what that basically means is that this is something that's giving the impression on air. It's not, or sorry, live. And so I think this is referring to those light boxes that say on air above the, say, for instance, the door to a television studio so that people don't interrupt it. So it's sort of I think what it's getting at with those brackets is that it's sort of a symbolic representation of this thing, even though I think you could clue this simply with the word live, which does literally mean on air in this context. So I'm not entirely certain as to the necessity of that, but if you have any thoughts about it, let me know in the comments. Also, maybe it's not on air, but it seems like it is, doesn't it? Lesson for an advanced language learner. I'm not sure. Component of many sandstone features in the Southwest. Probably red, maybe red rock. So what is this? What's not to like? What's not to like? I don't know. It seems like I should be able to get that with that many crosses. I'm sorry. So if something is yet to be processed, it's in the works, it's pending, it's raw, not sure. Cabinet department with a buffalo on its emblem. Well, based on the crosses, must be interior. The Department of the Interior in the United States government handles various things dealing with land, for instance. Okay, so let's see. Like many a documentary film. Oh, narrated. Yes, there we go. All right. Oh, and so what's not to like is a bête noire. Sort of your nemesis, I suppose, in a way. Obviously from French. Okay, so I see. Lesson for an advanced language learner would be idioms, such as bête noire. Bête noire is an idiom, a sort of use of language, I guess, that means more, common use of language that means more than its literal definition, and would be part of sort of fluent speech in that language, I suppose. Okay, valuable carriers could be armored cars. They carry money between bank vaults, I suppose, things like that. Let's check the crosses on that. What genes do biologically? I don't know. Medicare Advantage by another name. Not sure, actually. Apparatus with a harness and flippers. Could be scuba, as in scuba diving. Scuba is an acronym, actually, but I'm not sure I don't remember what it stands for. Yeah. Someone will probably tell me. To get to eat. Get to eat. Order? If you get something to eat, you order it in a restaurant. List for a survivalist. Could be needs, I suppose. A survivalist is someone who, survival is their stock in trade, their needs would be the most important thing to solve. Whereas most of us don't need to think about at least some of our basic needs some of the time. Big ink purveyor could be Epson, printer, Japanese printer manufacturer, I believe. Let's see. What genes do biologically? Is there some way Nacre could be wrong? I don't know. It seems like it. I thought that's what that was. Let's keep looking. Yet to be processed. And place for fast growth could be a hotbed. Oh, Medicare Advantage, could this be Part C? And then what genes do biologically? Oh, encode. And then yet to be processed is crude, as in oil. There we go. It all came together. Sliding blank, a sliding scale. Skateboarders wear might be a helmet, although I think many skateboarders go without. Oh, skateboarders apparatus could be a ramp, right? Upper ramp? No, not a ramp. Blank Possible, 2000s animated series. Kim Possible, I've heard of that. Oh, a rail. Okay. Also, a thing a skateboarder might skate on, a rail. The grind on a rail. That's what you'd call that, I guess. Daily in Paris. Oh, a daily newspaper, I suspect this means. Le Monde, the world. Bearer of the Earth in Iroquois creation stories. Oh, a turtle, perhaps? The turtle is used in some creation myths, right? So maybe Iroquois is that. It's not a good look, could be a leer. You leer at someone, you look at them sort of lasciviously, not good. Waiting for an assignment, maybe. You could be idle while waiting for an assignment. Snacks for some beetles. Could be ants. And to dance around. No, dance, oh, there's a question mark. Dance around. So maybe it's not straightforwardly to dance around. Dance around. Oh, hora, maybe? Yes, and to give kudos to is to hail. So a hora, I think a hora is basically a circular dance, so that would make sense. And then a scanner feature is a laser. Laser scans things at a checkout line, I suppose, for instance. More than a few could be a multitude. No, could not be a multitude. More than a few. I guess, yeah. I guess a multitude doesn't quite match more than a few. Need to be a more than a few? No. Okay. Anyway, more than a few. Multi-faceted. Seems like it must be multi-something, right? Multiple, I guess. The most straightforward one of those. Why did it take me so long to get there? Okay, let's jump back up. We've skipped a number of our crosses here. A green symbol on Rotten Tomatoes. Green symbol. Is that when it's good or when it's bad? Rotten Tomatoes is the film review aggregation website that measures the percentage of the percentage of critics that gave a particular film a generally positive review. So one of them is fresh and then the other one's rotten. What are the two? I don't know. Sorry. Okay, ran off with. Probably ends with a D, right? Could, stole, essentially. I assume eloped with, maybe? If two people ran off together to marry. A quadrennial bonus, a leap day, I guess. A day every 4 years that we get additionally. We get a day in February to sort of balance out the length of a year, which is slightly too short, astronomically speaking. So to successfully convince someone, to sell someone. Yes, there you go. No contest for one. Not sure. Important calculation for a weightlifter would be a load, I would assume. A galaxy array. Galaxy meaning I actually don't remember what manufacturer this is. Samsung, maybe? Manufacturer of smartphones and tablets. And the Galaxy is one of their lines. So an array for the Galaxy might be apps. You might download an array of apps on your Galaxy. Some pubgoers could be lads, common British terminology. Oh, no contest for one, I see, is a plea. I was thinking of that incorrectly, meaning no contest. In other words, a sort of braggadocious way of saying that the other person posed no challenge. But in fact, this is a plea in court. You can plea no contest. And then the green symbol on Rotten Tomatoes is a splat, which sounds right, although I didn't remember that that's what it was. I'm blank here myself, but... No, sorry, I'm blank... I read that incorrectly and it was putting me down the wrong path. I was thinking, I'm new here myself. No, I'm blank myself here. I'm dating myself here, people might say when they mention something that calls attention to their age. Festive season would be the Yuletide. And then here we have little drawing. A tug, perhaps? If you sort of draw something, you pull it, and a little pull, a little tug. Seems a little bit of a reach to me, so I'm not going to fill it in just yet. Choice cut. Keep thinking of cuts of meat. I'm not seeing anything that fits, but that I could just be missing it. Well, there's a surprise. Could end in it or that. Let's check the down. Affaire de coeur. So this looks in French. I don't know that I actually know this phrase, but it looks like a romantic entanglement. So I wonder if it's a tryst, perhaps. Although that doesn't look great here, does it? 2 T's. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Pulling down could be earning or making money, for instance, pulling down a salary. And then here we have some prayer leaders. They could be imams if they're prayer leaders in Islam. A Sicilian word that roughly translates as swagger. Oh, I don't know. That'll be interesting. Actor Claude of BJ and the Bears, don't know. Copter cousins. So helicopters, presumably. What's a cousin of a helicopter? Is there another meaning of copter? Not really. Yeah, I'm just not sure offhand. I'm sorry. Let's check up. What is this 43 down? Sunday best. So Sunday best clothes is what that immediately conjures, but I don't know if that's what it is. Group of pelicans, not sure. I guess let's finish the acrostis here. Paid athletes with day jobs. Paid athletes with day jobs. What is that getting at? Day jobs. I can't tell if this means these are athletes who, and I'm sure it's intended to be vague, but these are athletes who have side jobs, or their athletics happen during the day and that's somehow significant. I'm not sure. Well lit. Not sure. Aircraft with low drag. I don't know. Stealth plane or something. Not, boy, I went from flying through this puzzle to absolutely crawling. Not requiring much attention, say. Help on wheels. Sibilant sobriquet for summertime singer Sarah Vaughan. Well, sibilant is S sounds, so this starting with S is a good sign. Sibilant sobriquet for summertime singer Sarah Vaughan. I mean, Sarah Vaughan is a jazz singer, which isn't surprising, with summertime there. I don't know. I don't know much about her in terms of nicknames or anything like that. Hit from behind. Woof. This is not going well, is it? Find satisfaction, slangily. Get even? That would make tug correct. Sunday best, group of pelicans. I'm going to go to the ones I haven't seen yet. Actor Claude, copter cousins. I mean, could end in S. I mean, that would be another S in the sibilant sobriquet, so that could be correct, but I don't know. Affaire decor, not just live in the present. Not just live in the present, could be not just live in the present. Pound sign is to pound sterling, as R is to a unit of currency, right? Real could be. It's actually a couple different currencies that could be that with different spellings that are basically real. Blank over. Pip. Mediterraneo could be mare? Or is this Spanish? Aircraft with low drag. I mean, get even might not be correct. Boy, this is a rough time right now. Okay. Sunday best, right? Group of pelicans. What is group of pelicans? Is that sports, or is there a military craft called the pelican, perhaps? What is this? Choice cut. Choice cut. Choice cut. Oh, fillet. It is meat. Yeah, sorry. That was pretty straightforward. And your Sunday best could be finest or finery. I'm guessing it's finery. And the reason I say that is because best already, I mean, best literally means finest. I mean, repeating the EST is sort of, it feels too obvious. So I would think there'd be a different word that they'd be using. Okay. Well, there's a surprise. This looks like that, doesn't it? Well, there's a surprise. Imagine that. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Copter cousins, gyrocopter? I don't know. Oh, maybe the Sicilian word is mafia. Could that be right? Is that what mafia comes from? Sicilian word that roughly translates as swagger? That would make sense, actually. Well lit could be a fire. If something is a fire, right? Actor Claude of BJ and the Bear. I'm just not going to know this. That's the problem. not requiring much attention, say. Oh boy. Could this be Sassy Sarah Vaughan? Claude Akins? I mean, that sounds like a name. Not requiring much attention. Minor? Why would a minor not require much attention? Oh, not a minor as in a person who's young, but this is a minor issue, therefore it doesn't require as much attention. So maybe it is minor. And this could be sassy. And then we have gyros here. A gyrocopter? I mean, that sounds like a thing, but I would have assumed it to be spelled with a Y. But obviously that's ridiculous. I don't know. I think this is the best I'm going to guess over here. I think that stuff is seen. If I had to bet, I would say it's correct, but I'm not. I'm not incredibly confident. Okay, so find satisfaction slangily. I don't think it's get even, unfortunately, because I don't have an immediate oh boy, my brain has stopped working entirely. Replacement. That's the word. Good Lord. Okay. So, affaire de corps. This is something. This is like something involving love or a tryst or something. I guess if it were love, it could be a more. Let's see if that would help at all. Paid athletes with day jobs. I kind of don't even know where to begin with this one. Paid athletes with day jobs. Oh, well, that MI could be semi-professional, semi-pros. I mean, that would make sense. They'd be paid. If they're semi-professional, it means they're doing professional sporting, but it's not enough to pay the bills. So maybe they have a day job. That actually seems pretty plausible. So not just live in the present. Could it be penned? I think it's not. That sounds bad. I just have that in my mind because there was something earlier that felt like pending could be appropriate. Right. So yeah, this obviously was going to start with an R. That's not really surprising. Blank over, on or over, maybe? Pip. A stud, maybe? Like a pip in like a little pip, a little sort of indentation or raised bit. I don't know about that. Hit from behind. Help on wheels. I don't know about either of these at the end, really. I mean, this could be real or real with an E, I think. I think either of those maybe. I'm really not confident about this pip. I think that's almost certainly wrong. Oh, boy. To not just live in the present, maybe not penned, but maybe plan. You make a plan for the future as opposed to just living in the present. And then an aircraft could end with plane. All right, so this isn't either of what I had before. To pip, to sell, maybe? No, you wouldn't end an L here. I mean, on or over could be wrong as well. Once over. You give something a once over. That's better with the dash. I was thinking on dash or dash over seemed not really great. I should have mentioned that I wasn't confident about that. But once over, a once over has a dash because it's a compound noun. So that makes more sense. Oh, and help on wheels is an ambulance. Entirely the most obvious possible meaning that could have. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure many of you are way ahead of me there. Find satisfaction slangly. Oh, get some, to get some. There we go. There's an idiom for you. An idiom for our advanced language learner. A group of pelicans, the something. And then an aircraft with low drag, a monoplane? What is a monoplane? It looks like it fits, but I don't know. Oh, so the Mar Mediterraneo? Hit from behind. A rear ender in a car, a rear end collision, a rear ender. So then what was this? Ah, the rand. Okay, yes. That is a currency. And then pip is seer? I actually don't understand that. Maybe, oh, sorry. Not seer, not rear ender. That's actually clever because hit could be a noun or a past tense. And in this case, it's the past tense rear ended. And so pip is a seed. Much more appropriate. You get pips in fruit. There we go. All right. That was a real roller coaster ride for me. I started off, I think, quite strong and then really very much declined towards the, I don't know, final third or so of the puzzle. So I'm sorry about that. Let me know how you fared with that. This was very much a Friday themeless puzzle, wasn't it? Some straightforward things, some trickier things, a bit of misdirection. I think harder than I found yesterday's Thursday puzzle, which isn't a big surprise. It's supposed to be more difficult, and I found it to be so. But did have a pretty good string of straightforward solving. So yes, do let me know how you fared with that. Let's see. Quadrennial bonus for leap day, I thought was very clever. A quadrennial bonus, a bonus day every 4 years. That's quite good. Was there what else was nice in here? Oh yeah, this Sicilian word that roughly translates as swagger. I mean, that's probably as straightforward a clue as could come, but wasn't something I think I knew. So incredibly interesting piece of knowledge, and I'm glad to know it. I'm curious about this gyros or gyros or whatever it is. I assume it's gyros as in gyrocopter or gyroscope. But I don't really know what's going on with that I. I just sort of needed to have it there for the making. I'll have to look that up. I mean, I wonder if there's more than one, if there are multiple acceptable spellings. Dance around for Hora is pretty clever, I thought. Yeah, a pretty good puzzle. Let me know how you fared. And I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, please do subscribe. Hit the subscribe button under the video and you will see these as they go up each morning. And if you think you know someone who might like it, maybe someone who could explain this whole gyros thing to me and then leave the explanation in the comments, then let them know as well. Pass this along. Perhaps they would enjoy this series. You never know. And of course, if you're particularly enjoying this series, well, you'd expect me to say this, wouldn't you, given that whole introductory spiel? But please do consider heading over to the Patreon page and tossing in a few quid or a few pounds a month or dollars. I assume that actually, I didn't mention this. I priced it in pounds based on sort of some recommended Patreon levels, but I assume that converts to different currencies. I hope the conversion works out. Okay, I hope the price tiers are reasonable, I guess. Well, the most expensive one is not reasonable, I know, but I made it just in case. Yes, but I think it'll be automatically converted based on where you're detected to be located. So hopefully there aren't any issues with that. Anyway, big digression there. Please do consider checking it out if you've been enjoying this series and you think there are elements that you would enjoy, like those monthly bonus puzzles or the mini speed solves. And I'm happy to take feedback on the nature of that particular bonus content if there are things that aren't as entertaining to you or that you think might be entertaining to you. Happy to read people's comments there and take it into account. Anyway, that is patreon.com/dailysolve. And with that, I do hope you have an excellent rest of your Friday. I do also hope you'll join me tomorrow for the Saturday crossword, the most difficult puzzle of the week generally, I think. So, yes, come back then. If you subscribe, it'll be easy for you to see it when it goes up. And until that point, I hope you have an excellent rest of your Friday. Take care.